Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I greet you all from my sitting room here in my home in my native island of Trinidad, and uh, it is today the 28th day of the month of Shaban, and tomorrow we will look for the moon, inshallah. And if the moon is seen, then on Yawmul Jum'ah, we will commence the fast of Ramadan. But this is an extraordinary Ramadan. There's never been a Ramadan like this before in all of history. This is the first time that we have a Ramadan, a month of Ramadan, with a universal lockdown around the world. And my first comment, of course, is that this is a stunning demonstration by Dajjal of his capacity, his present capacity to rule the world. Every government has to submit to him. Illa masha Allah. Some people don't understand the meaning of illa masha Allah. So every government in the world, illa masha Allah, have to submit to Dajjal. And as I said, this is a stunning demonstration of his capacity to rule the world. This comment is coming from Islamic eschatology. This is this is a comment which has come from my profile of Islamic scholarship, not from the profile of the Darul Uloom. If I am wrong, kindly correct me. If the Darul Uloom is capable of making this kind of a comment, let me know. I've never heard it from any Darul Uloom. You would want to know why am I concentrating on the Darul Uloom? And my answer is, this is the moment for me to do it. When around the world there is this evidence, as plain as daylight, that this is not an ordinary time in which we are living. This is an extraordinary time. And if the Quran explains all things, as the Quran says that it does, وَنَزَّلْ بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبْيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ إلى آخر الآية. If the Quran declares that it explains all things, it must explain this extraordinary world in which we now live. And this is Islamic eschatology. This is my profile of scholarship of the study of the Quran that I am saying to you. The first thing I'm saying, that this is Dajjal at work. This is what I'm saying. And it is at this time, therefore, that we have Ramadan. And this is not going to be the normal Ramadan. I have said to you, I hope you remember, that on this particular Ramadan, we must be very careful, those of us who have the means, Whenever you cook food to break the fast, don't eat from that food until you've taken some part of that food to give to the poor who may not have enough food or who may not have food. So they will then have some of the food that you are eating. Remember the poor on this Ramadan. Not just those who cannot fast, who are too old to fast, or who are constantly ill and cannot fast, and for whom there is the fidya, ta'amu miskin, that they can feed a poor person in place of fasting. In addition to that, I am suggesting, this is not the mazhab, I am suggesting, okay, tell my critics, give me a break. I'm suggesting that on this Ramadan, we will make sure we take some of our food that we're going to break the fast with and give some of it to the poor. Look around in the place where you're living, in your neighborhood. And if there are no poor people at all in your neighborhood, you're living in the wrong place. Yes, in Islam, the rich and the poor live side by side. No, we don't have exclusive neighborhoods for the rich. That's not our way. The rich and the poor live side by side. The children of the rich and the children of the poor go to the same school, they play in the same playground. Tell that to the United States of America. Tell it to them. Tell it to Britain and France and Germany. Tell it to modern Western civilization, which came to the world with this arrogant claim. It's the best civilization it's ever been the good fortune of mankind to witness. What rubbish! Look at them. The rich live in exclusive areas for the rich. Yes, with, with, with housing schemes which are locked down, secured, and the poor live miserably poor in ghettos. That's their way. Ours is different. So if in your neighborhood you don't have any poor people at all, maybe you're living in the wrong place. Or maybe that there is such an efficient and a just system, economic system and market system, that mashallah, the rich and the poor have been sharing their wealth. That doesn't exist anywhere in the world today, as far as I know. Okay, this is a Ramadan when we not only want to share our food with the poor, we want to help them because people who are, for example, taxi drivers, rickshaw drivers, and every day they earn the money to put food on the table, and now they can earn nothing during this time. So don't let the Dajjal wipe out the poor and enslave the poor, and only the rich will survive the lockdown. No, we must fight the Dajjal by reaching out to those who are suffering the most because of the lockdown. Don't depend upon government to do everything. You do something as well. Take them some help. Help them with their renting a place. Help them with their rent. Help them with their food and so on. If you have the means to do so, share what you have at this time so that they might survive the lockdown. Now then, the fast of Ramadan is also meant to not only that your hunger in your belly will tell you about how they feel when they are hungry, so you'll share with them their hunger. But more than that, the fast of Ramadan is meant to awaken the internal life, yeah, the internal sight, that the heart should come alive. And when the heart come alive, you'll be able to see what otherwise cannot be seen. Remember that the world in the age of Dajjal is a world with awesome deception. Things are not what they appear to be. Conventional scholarship looks only upon the external appearance of things, but the scholarship of Khidr alayhi salam seeks to penetrate beyond the external form. You remember, do you? The boat, and he scuttled the boat, Surah Al-Kahf. Do you remember the boy? And he killed the boy. I don't want you to go killing boys, huh? Number three, you remember the wall? Huh? And he rebuilt the wall even though the people did not offer him any hospitality. Conventional scholarship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used Nabi Musa alayhi salam, but actually the target is Banu Israel who follow Musa alayhi salam. Conventional Islamic scholarship, conventional religious scholarship could not penetrate the reality. But it was the scholarship of Khidr alayhi salam. That scholarship penetrated the reality of things. And it was that explanation that Surah Al-Kahf gave, which we must be pondering over at this time. Dajjal comes with two things, remember. He comes with a river and he comes with a fire. Okay? But his river is a fire, and his fire is the cool waters of a river. And so things are not going to be what they appear to be. Appearance and reality are going to be opposite to each other in all matters pertaining to Dajjal. And the only ones who will be able to penetrate external appearance, to reach reality, are those who can see with the nur of Allah. How many years have I been teaching this? 20, 25 years or more I've been teaching this. Huh? When will you wake up? You will not be able to get nur in your heart if you're telling lies. You will not get nur in your heart if you're oppressing others. You have someone working for you and you pay them the salary of a slave, which is what Singapore does, the model state of Singapore. Yes, that's what they do. If you're doing that, how will you get nur? You can't have nur in your heart if you're committing zina. No, all the nur will vanish. This is the prerequisite to get nur or light in your heart. You must be righteous in conduct, and you must have faith. And modern secular education offers a tremendous challenge to faith. If you want faith, you must submit to the Quran. If you belong to the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, you must submit to the Quran. The first lesson that my teacher taught me, Maulana Dr. Muhammad Fadl Rahman Ansari, first time I'm sitting in his class, first lesson, and it came to me as a shock. He said to me, once you accept that the Quran is the word of the one God, once you accept that, then whatever is in the Quran, you must believe in it, whether you understand or you don't, whether you're comfortable with it or you're not. You must bow down and accept it. Understanding will come later. Yes, understanding will come later. And so this Ramadan is not just reaching out for the poor. This Ramadan is also trying to get nur in the heart so that you'll be able to see what otherwise cannot be seen. And so during this Ramadan, I will try, because everybody at home, the lockdown, and I have my daughter here to do the recordings for me. So every day of Ramadan, inshallah, we will do a recording of a talk in which I'll attempt to teach Islamic eschatology. There are those who say, but Sheikh, we've been listening to you for 20 years, we're tired of it. But there are others who are still sleeping. So we're going to teach those who have been sleeping. Those who already know the subject, you can listen one more time. The way of the prophets of Allah is to teach with simplicity. And so I will try to break down the subjects and present it in the most simple way possible, and with simplicity of expression, simplicity of language, so everybody can understand. That is success, if you can do that. So every day of Ramadan, you'll find a talk. I hope it'll be about half an hour, so you don't have to spend too much time. But when we have a talk on the first day of Ramadan, then on the second day of Ramadan, we're going to have a call-in session. We'll give you the time. On the first day, you'll see the time on the way to call in. My daughter will handle that. And we'll devote the second day then to a call-in program where you'll ask your questions. So you have enough time now, and to offer comments and so on. And then on the third day, we'll have another talk. And then on the fourth day, we'll have another call-in session. So for the whole of Ramadan, there'll be 15 sessions in which I'll be teaching, and maybe 14, perhaps 15 sessions in which we'll have a call-in. So you've got a chance now that we never had before. So many days when you can call from wherever in the world you want, you can call. And I believe the calls are now free of charge. You don't have to pay. I don't know much about these things, but you know more about me, about it than me. In addition to these that I'll be recording at home, we'll also be having it on, it of course will be on through YouTube, but we'll also be putting it on IBN. We have the Sunday morning Yawmul Ahad on IBN. I've already recorded 2 Sundays and I have 2 more to record. So you'll find those programs also on IBN. And I hope and I pray this Ramadan might be a blessed Ramadan for all of us, and that we may be able to emerge from Ramadan with more knowledge and more piety than which we begin Ramadan. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.